Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Yorkie Werewolf. And this is a new horror comedy from director Michael Dabacio Ornelas, and this film focuses on a young woman, Jenny, who comes from a line of witches and who are in conflict with the mafia, and a whole bunch of bad things happen, and she winds up getting turned into a werewolf, but a Yorkie werewolf, and she teams up with a vampire to try to stop the mafia and to build a bridge between witches and the mafia. And yeah, this is an interesting movie. An hour and 14-minute film that somehow feels way too overstuffed, and also like nothing really happens. This is an interesting case because the novelty of the idea that this is like Yorkie werewolf was like, oh, this seems like it could be fun. And it kind of is. The issue is, it is so clunky. Like, right off the bat, you're dropped into this opening sequence that feels so scattered and messy, and you're just like, wait, what's going on here? And then it shifts completely into a scene where, like, information dumps. This whole entire thing about the witches' coven in this area and how, like, for some reason they're in this, like, generations-long conflict with the mafia who runs all the pasta dealings in the area, and you're just like, what? And then Jenny here somehow during the ceremony where she loses everything somehow turns into a werewolf, except she turns into a Yorkie werewolf, and she's like teeny tiny yet and has this like really grotesque mask on, but then still makes out with her vampire boyfriend while as the Yorkie werewolf. And it's basically just him pushing his face up against this lifeless mask, and you're just like, what am I watching? And I feel like on some level, people probably watch this and be like, this is so bad, this is hilarious. And I'm just sitting there like, none of this is really working. And, like, sure, it's silly every time you see this werewolf pop up, but, like, this werewolf has, like, a full-blown voice, and it's this modulated, like, little voice like this. And narratively, none of this makes sense, and you're just bouncing around, and there's big twists about Big Nick, the head of the head of this mafia group, and his connection to Jenny, and it just adds this even more convoluted layers to this already convoluted yet also very vague mythos between vampires and the mafia. I feel like it never really grasps and gets across in a meaningful way why the mafia and these witches hate each other. And you're just like, I guess we're just supposed to accept that. And you just accept that this vampire who's in this can walk around in broad daylight. And that's also a challenge because it never really explains a whole lot of like the rules of these like mythical creatures and stuff like that. And it's just like, when does she become a Yorkie werewolf? And also, like, the effects in this are so cheesy and ridiculous and over the top and campy and silly. And, like, when she attacks somebody, it has, like, silly sound effects, but then, like, all their guts are falling out, or, like, there's, like, a bomb later, and so, and people's heads are blowing up. This is, objectively, from a filmmaking standpoint, the narrative is so loose and ridiculous and has no real anchor to it. It tries to have twists and turns that just feel like they're out of left field. And over the course of an hour and 14 minutes, it feels kind of boring in terms of like what this is actually trying to say. And you're just left with, well, that was silly. That's weird. And hopefully that's enough for you, because that's basically what you get out of this. And you're just confused, sitting and watching this weird movie. And, you know, I think you know what you're getting into when you see the poster and it says Yorkie Werewolf on it. And you're just like, well, this is going to be some campy crap. and we're going to see if we're going to have a fun time with it. And I hope you do, because this has cult classic written all over it. And also it's only like 74 minutes, so it's not like a big ask either. So, enjoy. But those are my thoughts on the Yorkie Werewolf. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.